What's up, you guys? I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna help you learn how to move like an Apex legend here at Keller Fountain in downtown Portland. Come check it out. You probably already know me from my Apex Legends tutorials, but you might not know that I'm actually a certified personal trainer for my day job, and I've been training parkour for the past 12 years. Back in 2008, I actually made a New Year's resolution to get in shape. I found parkour, I lost 40 pounds, and I discovered I was capable of much more than I ever thought possible. And now, I get to help people do that every single day for a living. Unfortunately, I can only help so many people face to face. And that's why I decided to create this series, How to Move Like an Apex Legends, to help you, gamers, and anybody else across the world discover their inner Apex legend. This is episode 1 in a 5-part series designed to take you from warming up couch cushions to climbing up concrete. We're going to teach you how to run, how to jump, how to land, how to slide, and how to climb walls like an Apex legend, starting with how to run. It's 90% of what you do in Apex Legends, getting from place to place, point A to point B, running away from that ring, trying not to die to the surface. If you want to move like a legend, you have to start here. Now, running might seem simple enough, but if you're doing it incorrectly, it can be very painful. I actually used to hate running as a kid because I would get the most terrible shin splints. It would be so painful, and I absolutely despised going out to the track when it was gym day. But now, when I grew up and I found out how to run properly with good technique, I fell in love with running, and I was actually an avid runner before I even started doing parkour. So let's go take a look at what proper running technique looks like. So the first thing that we want to consider when we're talking about proper running technique is trying to think about lifting our body as opposed to pushing down on the ground. For example, we don't want to stomp loud or run with a heel to toe running stride. That's terrible running technique. We actually want to make sure we're on the balls of our feet and lifting with our knees. One of the best ways to practice this, and you can do this literally anywhere, is just a simple exercise of a running pose form. So we're going to have our arms bent at 90 degrees, one arm down, one arm up, and then we're going to march in place. Moving our arms and legs in time, just as if we were running. Now, after you want to actually start moving somewhere, moving on from that standard march, we're going to go into a basic slow jog. We're going to very lightly do the same kind of motions we just did. So we just have our arms moving very lightly and our knees moving very gently. And this is actually all these same motions as sprinting, but in very light and easy to handle format for your body. And as we start to move this a little faster, all of a sudden now we're running. All I'm doing is lifting my knees, pumping my arms. This is all that's happening. And as I start to make that faster, then we start to sprint. Now, Apex Legends don't just run, they run fast. And if we want to develop our sprinting speed, we have to shift our focus away from training longer distances to going shorter distances as fast as we can. One trick that I use to help me run faster when I'm sprinting is to focus on pumping my arms. If I pump my arms faster, my legs will naturally want to keep up. Now, in Apex Legends, all the characters have infinite sprinting capacity. They can run forever, which isn't exactly realistic. But just like we can train our legs to be stronger, we can train our lungs to be stronger as well. With more effective breathing techniques, we can run for longer distances. Oftentimes, we take too short of breaths. and this leads to a lack of oxygen being delivered to our muscles. My personal trick that I like to use is to count while I'm running and breathe out 3 steps, breathe in 3 steps, like this. And this helps deliver a lot more oxygen to my muscles, which allows me to run for a lot longer distances. So it's one thing to watch a YouTube tutorial, it's another thing to take action in the real world. If we want to see progress, we have to set a schedule and stick to it. It doesn't have to be complicated either. When I first started back in 2008, my schedule was simply running every other day. I would run one day, rest the other, and keep that up every other day. I didn't even run very far. When I first started, I could get to the end of my apartment complex and then walk back to my front door. But if you keep up to that schedule, no matter what you're doing, whether it's the marching, the slow jogging, the running, or the sprinting, you will see progress if you stick to that schedule, and soon enough, you'll be moving like an Apex legend. And I'm gonna leave you guys with one last extra fun thing, how to slide like an Apex legend. So if we're going to be sliding like an Apex legend, the first thing we're going to need is some safety gear. We have some knee pads, shin pads, and I even put elbow pads over the top of my shoes because I actually care about my shoes. Now, this is some bottom of the line gear here. We got $15 set of skating pads and a $15 pair of soccer shin guards. And this is good enough to slide like an Apex legend. You actually want to make sure you avoid non-slip technology because that's actually going to make you stick to the ground. If you want to slide, just go for some bottom of the line stuff, and this is going to get completely destroyed anyway for the sake of this awesome Apex Legends sliding fun. So after we have all of our safety gear on, how to actually enter the slide, you want to be gathering speed, running into this. You want to gently lower yourself down to the ground. I'm lowering one leg, kind of putting the back knee down first, and then pushing myself onto my front knee, making sure my toes are pulled back and leaning back into the slide. I'm trying not to actually land on my knees, but push myself onto my shins and just let my speed carry me down. Make sure you lean back so your center of gravity is still above your hips. If you lean forward, you're probably gonna fall forward onto your hands.
Now remember, this is just one episode in a 5-part series, so make sure you go down and click the subscription button and hit the notification bell so you know exactly when the next episode of How to Move Like an Apex Legends gets released, as well as stay up to date on my regular Apex Legends content. You'll be seeing 2 of those videos on your screen now. I encourage you to click those. I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre, and I'm out.